Hello, my name is Aiyana Hardy. Today I'm going to be reading for you six poems, I believe, that I wrote. Um, these poems range from social justice problems, racial injustice, women's rights, and just things that are really close to my heart that I care deeply about. So, yeah, I'm going to read you a few of my poems, and I hope you like them. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen so that you can read along with me as I'm reading them. So, my first poem is called Hiding. Sometimes I show up early just to get a seat in the back of the class. Sometimes I lie about bringing pen and paper so that I can hide behind my MacBook. Sometimes I hope you don't call on me even though I know the answer. I always prefer writing over speaking. I can always say exactly what I mean through writing. That's why I text instead of call. That's why I email instead of showing up for office hours. That's why I'd rather handwrite a letter and mail it than look you in your face and say exactly what's on my mind. I hide my voice. Some people think it's too squeaky. Some people never listen long enough to hear what I had to say. Sometimes I worry about speaking improperly. Sometimes I convince myself that what I'm saying isn't important enough. Sometimes I find myself defending others who can't defend themselves. Sometimes I just want someone to defend me too. I'd hide every day in plain sight. It takes a lot for me to open up and feel comfortable, yet it's so easy to trigger me and make me go into hiding again. My anxiety has become my second layer of clothing, and I found warmth away from the cold, harsh reality of rejection. People disliking me, people speaking over me, people acting as if I'm not there. If I never try, then rejection will never come. I hide because nobody will ever take the time to find me, to know me. Nobody knows this. I tell my mom school is great, that I've made plenty of friends. I make up the conversations with cute boys because I know that my imagination and storytelling will make her laugh or be more interested in me. I know that she'll worry less if I embellish on my social skills. I tell her I have a way with everybody just like I have a way with my words. That's how I bring home good grades and am on a first name basis with my professors. She doesn't know that they are my only friends on campus and that the rest of the time I sit in my dorm, wishing I was back in high school because God knows how long it took me to make the six friends that I thankfully still have. My next poem is called Beef with Code Switching Served Hot. Dear Standardized English, you've become the villain in my life. Nah, for real, we got some major beef. You think you're just gonna walk in here telling everybody how to speak? Nah, I'm sorry, that just don't fly with me. So you have to accept that my various dialects and I are a package deal. Me separating how I speak at home and in class shouldn't even be real. It's about communication. If you can understand me, then I shouldn't have to switch it up. What? Just to appeal to your aesthetic? That's funny because just the other day at open mic, you were feeling my vibe. Now we're here at 8 a.m. and you're telling me it's impossible for our worlds to collide. Man, if I told my therapist about you, she would think you're a control freak. The limitations you put on me is weak, and I'm done with it. You either work with me or lose me completely. But just remember who's teaching the next generation. I can either include you or you could become a distant memory. I'll cut you out, just like you tried to clip me. Freedom of speech, freedom for all my dialects. I'm a pushover for a lot of things, but this is just something you gotta respect. Sincerely, student. My next poem is called Coffee Shop Combo. I like my coffee with almond milk and lots of sugar. I like to barely taste the coffee. I like to barely taste the bitterness. Sometimes I think black coffee is compared to black people. Bitter and unsweetened, unloved and belittled. No matter how well I perfect my white girl Starbucks order, no matter how many paychecks I save for a pair of Uggs, no matter how many hours it takes to straighten my kinky hair, they still assume that when I disagree with something, that I'm the angry black girl. They will assume that my personality is loud and that I don't know as much as them. They will assume that when Macy messes up my coffee order and I say something, that I'm upset with her. I'm not upset with her. I just can't have cream. I need oat milk or even silk. 2 years ago, I thought that was probably the whitest thing on earth, whiter than milk. Then I gave it a shot and it wasn't too bad. If you give me a shot, I promise I won't be so bad. I just want a normal day when these thoughts don't run through my head constantly. I just want to sip my coffee and not let the caffeine get my emotions running. I wish I didn't have to carry this history, these stereotypes, these tears, and these fears in my backpack every day. I wish I didn't have to go to school and worry about being called my nigga from somebody who isn't even a nigga. I wish I could write about racial injustice and not have to resort to coffee analogies in order for you to see the problem. But now that you're here, let's talk about the problem. The problem goes beyond campus, beyond you or me, beyond coffee, but I promise I'll get back to that. I know that you need that so you can digest this. The problem is a world problem. The problem is a racial problem. The problem is that Black people are afraid to walk home at night. The problem is that there's more Black people sitting in your prisons instead of inside your classrooms. The problem is that I still have to check my race on a job application that I know I'm more than qualified for. The problem is that my mom had to work overtime to make what you make part time. The problem is that I have to worry about my brother when he gets older because his skin makes him target practice. The problem is what happened to Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. The problem is that what happened to them is burned into my mind while you only remember them because their deaths got the most traction on your For You pages. The problem is that I sit in the coffee shop and watch this white woman tear apart the barista because she asked for iced coffee, not hot. The problem is that I know her silence would echo when it came to defending a Black person who had just been shot. Sometimes I have to wonder if I'm the problem. Sometimes I have to wonder if I'm the only one who sees the shit. But I'm just gonna sit, take a sip, and when you're ready, I suppose we can grab a coffee and talk about it. My next poem is called Discomfort. I wonder if you knew that I liked you better with your glasses on. I wonder if you knew that I like you better without the perfectly straight hair. I wonder if you knew that I liked you better when you weren't trying. I liked when you were comfortable. Comfortable with less pressure. It was natural. I liked you better without the designer bags. I liked you better without the $200 shoes. I liked you much better without the contacts. I know they still burn when you first put them on. You blink 15 times and stare straight. You do that before you even brush your teeth. I act like I didn't notice though. I know that would make you happy. I know that pretending makes you happy. I know that keeping up makes you happy. I know that being her makes you happy. Her, she, miss, I'm not sure what to call them, but I know it isn't mommy. Mommy was warm. Mommy was nurturing. Mommy was real. I loved you when you were real. Even when I'm just getting to see the real you, I already know I liked her better. But don't worry, you know I'll still love you. This is just something I've been wanting to tell you. My next poem is called Have a Human Heart. My heart goes out to all of the fathers in the world, the ones who started off as young boys in the world. Remember when you got a high five for taking Monica's virginity on prom night? Or when you posted a video of Samantha drunk dancing at the company Christmas party? 2 years from now, you would be accepting the promotion you and Samantha were in the running for. You already knew you would win, though. You didn't need to sabotage because you knew your company would never hire a woman to do the job that wasn't designed for her. But you had to go the extra mile and tarnish her name. She was just doing what everyone else was doing. She was having fun with the boys. Fun is only encouraged with the boys. When the girls join in, it becomes an entrance to embarrassment. God, my heart goes out to you, fathers. I know how much you wish you could rewind back time, how you wish you could report the crime of a woman being assaulted on the New York subway, how you wish you used your senses because now your daughter must suffer the consequences of your actions. You didn't appreciate your sight. You turned a blind eye to a woman's pain. When her cries fell on deaf ears because you didn't want to be involved in the chaos. But you are involved. Your silence is the villain. Your job was to protect and stand with your fellow human. Yet the only human you humanize is the one who looks like you. Well, look in the mirror. Tell me what you see. Are you proud to have been so weak? Did it even cross your mind until this week? When your eldest daughter came home in tears, inconsolable because she had just passed a test, a pregnancy test at 16, honor roll student, captain of the volleyball team. Now all her dreams ruined because 16 years ago, her father refused to fight. You refused to march. You refused to defend her rights. Now it's 2028 and you live in the great state of Texas. And an abortion isn't a choice she has. No, they took that from her. The same way they take everything else, her voice, her jobs, her accomplishments. Oh, the list goes on and on. But why would you care? At least it isn't happening to you, right? Remember how well you used to sleep at night? Because your life mattered. It always has, always will. But when will hers? When will you step up? Make this world a better place for her, an equal place for her. My heart goes out to all fathers, but your heart needs to go out to all of the women. My next poem is called Heartbreak Sentencing for the Foolish Girl. Right now, I don't feel too good. It's not a stomach ache or a fever, it's heartbreak. I'm a firm believer that heartbreak is a sickness. I believe this is the second worst feeling right after death. You see, with death, you don't feel anything anymore. You're gone, erased from the earth, no feelings, no pain. With heartbreak, you have to sit and mourn the loss of something you thought you'd have forever. I never imagined forever to be so short. That I would walk this earth and walk past you like you didn't once mean everything to me. You know how I knew I was crazy? When I started to put you above me. The breath you breathed was more important than the food I ate. Because, see, I feed off of the love that we have. I feed off of that obsession, that dependency. I depended on you to protect my heart after you stole it right from my chest. But instead, you turned a simple felony into a third-degree murder. How does it feel to get away with murder? Because now my obsession with you has shifted to an obsession of wanting answers. Why did you do it? How could you kill me when all I wanted was to live for you? Do you even care if I get past this? Will you stop visiting my grave once you find a new victim? I'm left to solve this problem that you made, but that's okay. Because now you have felon written across your chest. My heart doesn't burst with joy in my chest anymore, but hopefully The next time it does, it will be for a modeled citizen and not a criminal who deserves imprisonment. My next poem is called And the Award Goes to the Truthful One. Birds and the bees, I'm not a huge fan of the flowers or the trees. This is not an ode to nature, it is an acceptance speech. I accept the award for not adoring our planet. Granted, I give credit where credit is due. It keeps us living life as we do, and as we always will. Hopefully. I say hopefully because of people like me. The ones who don't find peace by the river, the ones who run away instead of embracing creatures outside of the human, the ones who are congested, filled with allergy bound senses, the ones who shriek at sunlight, especially when it's much too early. I lack appreciation for this earth. I admit it, one hand on the Bible and all. I don't like grass, snow, or rainfall, like the rain falling today. On and off like a light switch. It reminded me of a child having a meltdown. These bipolar antics, as if the earth doesn't know what it wants. Mixed emotions is why it's hot in November and winter is dragging out through April. When I look outside, I wonder what it wants. Lord knows I'm tired of everyone telling me what it needs. Like, I get the logic of it all. I see how the solution to a better planet can become a reality. I just have a hard time getting the dirt from under my fingernails. I just have a hard time sitting on itchy grass. I just have a hard time looking up into the sky, pretending I see shapes in the clouds when I don't. I just have a hard time finding enjoyment here. I think by now you could just tell I'm having a really hard time with this assignment. I am not ashamed that I enjoy the more artificial things. I think an award is deserved for saying something that a lot of people would hate you for. So those are my poems. I really hope that you like them. These are some topics that were very important to me. Some of them were school assignments, some of them were just things that I was thinking of and feeling those days. Um, yeah, I'm really happy that I got to share with everyone.